What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we are reviewing Port Adelaide versus Fremantle, round 22. Port Adelaide losing by a goal in the dying moments against the Dockers, and it was a heartbreaking finish to what was a very gallant, very hard-fought, driven performance by Port, and I could not be more proud, I think, of the performance we gave last night. That first quarter was dismal. But after that, it was some of the best footy we've played this year. And that second quarter was electrifying. And I'm very, very, very proud of the way we went about it. And I could not have asked for more. The win would have been great. It would have been just an emotional, gallant victory that we probably deserved. And then unfortunately, just didn't get the job that we wanted to done. And Freo's expertise in these comebacks definitely showed off in the end. But for us to be in the position we were in pretty much majority of the game, leading for majority of the game, I don't know, it's a weird feeling, because I'm like sitting here going, I could not be more proud of them. I guess it's like the killer instinct in me knows that the season is done, the games don't mean anything. We've been battered and bruised with injuries. We've been thrown into the corner and beaten the living shit out of. And to come out with a performance like that after the multiple losses that we've had by massive margins is a real testament to the character of this team. They could have again thrown in the towel after quarter time. We could have lost by 80 points, and the 30,000 that were there would have been gone by three-quarter time. But no, we stuck to it. We fought through, and I thought even the first quarter, whilst it was they were getting pretty much out the back goals and a couple of cheapies, I thought that our pressure was sensational, and the contested work in the midfield needs to be worked on, and it's kind of hard when you've got a defensive midfielder with Willem Drew, you've got Zach Butters trying to carry the side, you've got Connor Rosie playing in several different positions, you've got Early Wines, who was second best on ground last night, and I'll get to Lear in a second. But the performances by the players around the ground this is a character-driven performance, and despite the little, I'm not going to get too technical here. I think that's what I'm trying to get at. I'm not going to get too technical at this whole if we positioned better at the midfield, if we were in this position here, if we actually went this way instead of this way. I don't think that's it's if, buts and maybes, what ifs, and I don't think that helps in the situation that we're in. Whereas now I sit here and I'm like, a performance like Lear in the multicultural heritage round performance that he's had, 17 marks, 22 possessions, kicked his first goal in footy for Port Adelaide. That's just a celebrational moment, and that's what these little moments are. Little positives you take into next year. And Lear was outstanding. We've been critical of his performances over this year. He's been carrying a knee injury for probably a month. He's been dropping marks he probably should take. He's been not as pulverising down back compared to what his All-Australian year was, but he's been serviceable. He's still top 7 in the league for intercept marks, and again, he was sensational on I think he was playing on Jai Miss, who didn't kick a goal. He had 5 touches for the night. We had Ollie Lord go down back because Lockie Jones went down, and Brandon Zerk-Thatcher was hobbling as he always looks. So to get a performance like Lear, who was so amazing, is a true test to his character, his leadership, and no wonder he's the most popular player at Port Adelaide, because he's just a dead set legend. And that's something I take away from this, is we've got people like that at our football club, and that's the people we want. And he has to be he has to be in the leadership group in 2026. He's almost be a vice captain for me. He's just been outstanding. I loved the crowd last night. The 30,000 were loud. When Connor Rosie kicked the captain's goal to put us in front, the crowd went off. I thought it was amazing. The particular thing I loved about the crowd was no matter where Boki was, no matter what he was doing, he would get an applause, get a free kick, give away a free kick. He's still getting applause, and it was outstanding. He was great. 22 possessions, 10 marks and 5 tackles. You looked like he knew he was playing everything he could to get rid of, to give everything he can while he's still out there, which was outstanding. I thought Joe Berry was very serviceable. Will Lorenz was amazing. Despite that set shot, which I don't understand how you're missing from 40 metres out directly in front. But anyway, well, he didn't miss. He just didn't make the distance, which was unfortunate. Ollie Lord playing down back for Lachie Jones was an inspired decision. But yeah, Paddy Voss kicked 3, so that was sort of the difference in the end, which was unfortunate. But he looked okay, which was very nice to see. And kudos to him in particular, changing your role as soon as you get to the Adelaide level, you never suspect that. So well done to Ollie Lord. I thought players like Manny Liddy were great. Will Lorenz, as I said, Jack Lukosius before he got injured was, he's going to be a difference. If he can get fit, have a big off season, put on a few kilos, he's just going to be, a real attribute, I think. And I think he's just fallen into the trap of what this year's been for Port Adelaide, and that's just been a tough struggle, injuries galore, and he's just fallen victim to that. So when we come back next year, I feel like Jack Lukosius and Mitch Georgiades are going to be a force to be reckoned with, I think, next year, which is great. Jackson Mead played across the half-back line. He's not pushing his case well to keep a spot, but he looked better. Jed McEntee, I thought, ever since coming into the side, I think a lot of people are haters on him, and he's a selection bunny as such. He's come in and provided pressure. He's scored I think 5 goals in his time, which has been amazing to see. And I think he's been very serviceable, and he'll stay on the side for the rest of the year, no doubt about that. Willie Rioli kicked 2 goals, coming back in, looked out of sorts, but still better than what he could. I think right across the park, Jordan Sweet held his own in the ruck against the 2 tough nuts in Darcy and Jackson, despite the fact that they definitely won in the contested area, and the clearances definitely paid off in the end. But I think the way we looked and our character on each of the faces, it was a want to win, a will to win, and that's what I want. All I wanted was effort this week. I got it. We got it as fans, and I think we should be very, very proud of what the performance we put out, considering the situation we're in. We don't know how to win games yet because of how bad we've been playing, but I sense there's a win coming. There's a win coming before the end of the year, and I bloody hope it's against the Suns, so Trav can get sent off with a win. I'd like to beat Carlton as well, obviously. I would love to win the last 2 games, but I think if there's one I really want to win, it's that last game against Gold Coast. Would love to know your thoughts in the comments below, Port fans, about this game. I'd love to hear your thoughts about the whole performance overall. I know the first quarter was a bit tough, the second quarter was outstanding, and the third and fourth were just a grind. Still the inside 50s and the efficiency was a bit off, but we still went pretty damn good, 52%. I think it's one of their highest percentages of the year, 52%, and Freo went better at 57%, so they were scoring a lot. And people talk about the umpires as well, and you know what, for once we got the rub of the green. I'm not going to complain about umpires, give or take, about how they should have been officiated, but for once we got the rub of the green, and I'm happy with it. So we didn't lose or win the game because of umpiring, and the game was not dictated by that. I don't think there was a couple of rough calls. You're going to get those, but I think I'm not going to complain about the umpiring too much in this one, considering what occurred. But I think we should be proud of our performance. Freo are a very good side. They know how to win. They're going to be going a long way this year, I believe. And once we get our players back next year, I think we'll be okay. It's just a little bit of hope, as Ken said. It just gives you hope, and that's all you need. Thank you so much for watching, Port fans. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the game. I can't wait to hear all about it. Make sure, if you want to, please send in a Travis Boak message. What does Travis Boak mean to you? We'd love those video messages to come through via my Instagram, so please send me those through as soon as you can. A lot of tributes for Trav to come through, a lot of content to come post-season. But for now, we're going to soak in the last 2 games with Travis Boak and hopefully get a win in both. So thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're new for plenty more Port Adelaide and AFL content to come your way. My name's Anthony, and as always, count the pair.